Hello, hello, wherever you are in the world. This is Agnes van Rijn from agnesvanrijn.com and the founder of the Woman Who Makes Things Happen show. Today, it is my great pleasure to be interviewing someone who really I love, and I'm not the only one. I think I'm going to have a lot of crazy women around the globe wanting to listen to her interview. And that is Denise Duffield-Thomas. She is the money mindset mentor for the new wave of online female entrepreneurs. Her best-selling books, Lucky Bitch and Get Rich Lucky Bitch, give a fresh and funny roadmap to create an outrageously successful life and business. Denise helps women release their fear of money, set premium prices for the services, and take back control of their finances. Denise is an award-winning speaker, author, and entrepreneur who helps women transform their economy class money mindset into a first-class life. Denise, welcome to the Woman Who Makes Things Happen show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm really good. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. As we were talking just before, we met in Tucson.
Yes.
Neither of us are American, and yet
Tucson, Arizona,
met through a female entrepreneurship community. And it's amazing that even now that we're talking, we're on the opposite side of the world from each other. So there's never been a better time to be a female entrepreneur.
Oh, absolutely. And yes, you're right. I had not realized that we are not at all American, neither of us. Yeah, it's funny. And what I really love also is that we have been trained on the same topic, but you have brought it to a complete different dimension. I've just included it, as I often say, as a part of what I do. But I love how you transformed it completely and made it, almost a new wave of being. So tell us more about it.
So I really have always loved talking about money. And what I realized, though, is that women need more women. They need more women in their community to normalize money and to make it okay for us to talk about money and make it okay for us to talk about our fears around money as well, because that is a hugely important thing that we didn't really quite realize, I think, when a lot of us went into entrepreneurship. We thought freedom, flexibility, don't have to answer to a boss. I can do whatever I want. And then suddenly you are in a business where you have to set your own prices. That brings up a lot of stuff for women. We have to have money conversations when our clients default. We have to increase our prices. Nobody is going to tell us what to do. We have to set our own salary. And there's no wonder, really, when we are pretty much maybe the first or second generations in our families to have to do that kind of stuff around money. And it triggers us. It triggers our feelings of safety. It freaks us out. We're worried that people are going to think we're a bitch if we have good money boundaries. And so I am just part of that conversation. There are a lot of women, like yourself, like Kendall Summerhawk, who we both learnt from, who are having these conversations around money and spreading the message to women that it's okay and it's safe for us to be powerful and empowered around money. So I'm just trying to do it in my little way to make it kind of funny and lighthearted and to have fun with it and to recognize and acknowledge the fact that it scares the pants off us sometimes, and that's okay.
So before we go, because I think it's really interesting because it's not clear for everyone what type of problems women have with money. I mean, what you're saying is more the results for them, but where does it come from? So before we go into that, tell us maybe for people who don't know you, there are people who don't know you, I find it hard to imagine, but how it all started for you. So you have that interest, but how did it all start?
Well, I've wanted to be an entrepreneur since I was a little girl, and I was terrible at it even from a young age. And my money blocks, my money issues, I suppose, even came out when I was starting businesses when I was young. So I remember being 9 years old and selling bracelets, and I sold them for the exact cost that it cost me to make them. And which sounds ridiculous. However, I meet grown women who have a business who aren't making any profit on their business because it costs them just as much as it does that they charge.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting that happened even at a very young age. And in my 20s, I was so frustrated because I would go in a job, I'd get bored after 6 months, I'd want to work for myself, I'd quit, I'd start some random business because I wasn't being really true to myself, and my money blocks would get in the way. I would start to freak out every time someone said, well, how much do you charge for that? I didn't know what to say. And so I just thought, every time that happened, I thought, that's just way too hard. I just need to go back into a job and have somebody tell me what they're going to pay me every month.
Mm-hmm.
But that call and that burn to be an entrepreneur was stronger than that fear. So I knew I actually had to do some more work around my money mindset, because I was thinking, I'm a positive person. I read personal development books all the time. I walked on fire with Tony Robbins. Like, what's going wrong? You know, and there's a lot of women who are ambitious, they're smart, they've got a good product or service. Logistically, they know how to run a business, but something gets in the way, and it's really their beliefs around money and what they believe is possible for themselves. So I went on a massive kind of self-discovery, and I took everything that I'd ever learned about personal development, law of attraction, goal setting, etc., forgiveness work, inner kind of belief shattering, limiting belief shattering, and I applied it just to money, not just positivity or not just goal setting in general, but just to money. And what I discovered was I actually had a lot of mental clutter around money. So at the time I was doing life coaching. So of course I started telling my clients, about let's do this exercise, but let's work on your money stuff. And then I just thought, women really need this. I really need to start making this a bigger part of what I did. And when your calling comes, sometimes that's really scary as well. And I was saying, universe, I do not want to be the money girl. Like, don't make me the money girl. I revoke that calling. And what I realized was, and what my message is now to women, is it's okay. You don't have to be the expert in your industry. I have no desire to be Susie Orman. I have no desire to be a financial advisor. It's okay for me to serve in the way that I can serve. And that's my message to women as well. Don't feel like you can't do something because you have to be the Oprah of that industry. You can just be a part of the conversation. And once I did that, once I gave myself permission, it's okay for me just to be one person talking about money. That's when I realized I can just do that. I'm okay. I can take on that calling without the pressure of it.
Interesting. Very interesting. And you do it in a very funny and supportive way. So there's definitely a specific type of women for that. That's amazing. So these women, tell us more why you believe that women are having that type of problems. Why do women have that and men don't? Because men don't.
Whenever I say men don't, I do get a few people come piping up and saying, a man who goes, I do.
Yeah, by exception. Come on.
Yeah, there's a few exceptions. I think it comes from a lot of different ways. One, it's new to us. I didn't see my mum being empowered around money.
Yeah, true.
So it's new.
Yeah.
I never saw my grandmother be empowered around money. On TV, the only rich women I saw were bitches, or very ruthless, or mean, or murderous. So I would say my experience is pretty similar to other women's experiences. We literally don't know how to be in the world and be powerful around money in our way. So I think there's that. And then I think there's definitely some gender stuff as well. Like, we want to be helpful. We want to help everybody. We want to change the world. We want to support other women. And I think sometimes we think that making money and supporting people, or making money and helping people, or making money changing the world is mutually exclusive, and it's not.
You just remind me of a conversation I had not realized it, a conversation I had with my sister a few weeks ago, where we were talking about what type of money story do we have? What do you remember of the story, given she's my sister? And she reminded me of the fact, my mother raised 6 children, and she reminded me of the fact that I had forgotten that my father was the one, of course, who was bringing in money. My mother was never entitled to any money because she was not having a job. She was just raising 6 kids. She had just a job. But it was not an official job. And for him, you don't deserve money, your own money, if it's not by a regular job. So, interesting. It really is interesting how we have those stories. So tell us your journey. Tell us about the success and the challenges you came across.
Sure. So my life now is so chilled and easy, because I think when you're on the other side of it, you realize it's actually not about money at all.
Never.
It's not. And it's so bizarre, because it's easy to say that now, because when I was on the other side of it, when I didn't have any money, I thought it was about money. And now on the other side of it, I realize that money is just a tool, and money actually is very boring. It's actually just a tool to create your dream life. And I've been able to buy a beautiful house. We're going to renovate the house. I've been able to buy investments, all that kind of stuff. But actually, I'm so not even motivated by that anymore. But I think my journey, I grew up with a single mom. I internalized a lot of stuff around money and men. Men have all the power and women don't. And now I think on the other side of it, it has changed my view on women and money. I feel such a calling just to share that with women. Not to say you can be a millionaire, because not everyone wants to be a millionaire, but just to spread the message of you are enough, and money is just going to be a tool to help you in whatever you want to do, whether it's a goal to help other people or to grow a beautiful business or have a beautiful lifestyle. And for me, that feels like success, to be able to go, I don't really want for anything. And I think my viewpoint when I didn't have any money, that being rich meant being someone different. I thought,
that's a frequent one.
Yeah, I would dress in a fancy suit all the time. Like, just before we got on, I just went and had a meeting with my lawyer, and my lawyer dressed more casually than I do. So I was wearing jeans and a jacket. But my perception of that when I was maybe growing up, I thought, rich women live a particular way. And so sometimes if you have that viewpoint of what a rich person is, especially it's a negative one, you're going to stop yourself. I don't want to be a bitch. I don't want to be a rich bitch. I can't be bothered wearing heels all the time. We've got these silly stories about it. So I just want to spread the word to women that, success is just like you. Go and look in the mirror and say, this is what a successful rich woman looks like.
It's interesting that a lot of women think that women who have already a certain personal development journey, so they are different in the sense that they are more interested in others and loving and helping change the world, etc. However, they believe that if they become rich, they will change. And I said, try to project yourself. Can you really imagine that you would fundamentally change? You can only change for the better, because that money will give you means to do the good for others that you did not have before. So it's really interesting. And so yourself in that journey, what are the challenges that you have been facing? Because from what I'm hearing, and it's not the first time, I hear it regularly. In fact, I hear very often women say that they did not specifically had a dream, they almost rolled into a dream. So where would you position yourself in that?
That's a really great question. And I'll be totally honest, since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be rich.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I've been obsessed. Yeah, absolutely. I had a dream to live in a big house and to go on holidays and to afford the things I wanted to do. And I would say I was obsessed with it, but not in a negative way, just that I've always been obsessed with success. I've always read books on success. You can see, even like, this is something that's on my desk. I'm always trying to improve my mindset because I know it's perfect. When I get in my car, I listen to podcasts. So I'm always, even when I met with my lawyer, I was telling him about one of my next dreams, you know, because I want to start talking it into reality, and I want other people to believe that it's possible for me to create that dream. So no, it's not an accident that I'm here. I've definitely created it, engineered it, thought about it every day. And I think in different times of my life, I've been like, at the moment, I'm not really obsessed with any particular really strong goal. I would say 3 or 4 years ago, when I really just wanted to create the success of my business, I was obsessed. You know, I did everything all the time, and I worked really hard, and I worked really long hours. I'm kind of cruising at the moment, and it's funny that my business is still growing. You know, so that way.
I'm glad to hear that, because recently I've had more often women who rolled into their dream. So I'm glad that once in a while we also have someone who can say, hey, I wanted it. So
I really wanted it.
In realizing that dream, what are the challenges you have been facing? What did you find difficult?
I think that I've always had fear, and I will be really honest, I still get fear all the time. Every time I go to a new level in business, I think the same thing. I think, is this a plateau? What is it going to take to go to the next level? Can I do it? And that is true from when I made my first dollar, and that is true today. I still think that, and I still have to overcome that, because I think, well, sure, you know, it would be greedy to want more. You know, that's my recurring money block. It has to be hard to make money, and it's greedy to want to earn more. So I have to watch those two thoughts. And they never go away completely, but I've learned to manage them. But I will say that those thoughts, they definitely came up at the beginning of my business. And at each stage, at each time I've hit a new income plateau, I've had to break through the same things. And I've found that with most women, we've got 1 or 2 sabotages that are common to you. That's your flavor. Yeah. And you'll have to fight them again and again.
And then you peel the onion, a new layer, and it's back. And so, what tip would you give to women to overcome the specifics of fear?
Yes, there's a few things that I do. Having a mastermind, having like-minded women around you is so important, because sometimes it just takes for you to say to them, guys, I'm so scared about taking this action. And if there's someone else that's had a similar thing, they go, hey, I just did that 6 months ago, or I'm in the same boat, let's support each other through that. And I always find that everything is scary until it's not. And then something new will be scary. So when I was first starting out, creating a PayPal account was scary. Creating a business account was scary. And then it wasn't. But then something else is scary. Now I'm at the stage where I have to think about legal protection. And that's like, that's scary. But then it won't be. But then there'll be something new. It's the good and bad news, right?
Yeah. It's all about creating new habits. In fact, the moment it becomes a habit, it's no longer scary, because we know how to do it. Yeah. So, and can you tell us a little bit about your dream, or is it too early?
Oh no, I'd love to tell you about this dream. It's actually, I want to buy an apartment building. So I was thinking recently, we just bought a house and we bought an investment property, and I just thought, what's the next level? You know, it wasn't exciting to me to think buying another apartment or buying something else. And I just went, what would that next Denise do? And I thought, should buy a whole freaking building of apartment buildings. So I looked online and I found one, and I'm just I'm talking it into reality. So I emailed my broker and said, what would this take? Like, tell me how much money I would need to have to buy an apartment building like this. Because I know that if I start doing those baby steps, the money will come, and the right apartment building, I believe it's already out there. It's just waiting for things to fall into place for me, waiting for the current owner to decide they want to sell. But I'm making those baby steps now. So I said to my lawyer today, I said, oh, guess what? I'm thinking of, no, I am. I said, I'm buying an apartment building. You know, that's the next level for me. And so, you know, do you know, I said, this is the one that, you know, I wanted to buy, but it just went. And he goes, why don't you call him and just say, you know, keep me in mind for future ones? And I went, yes, because I was like, I don't have the money just lying around now, but if I get in this, so I've just, not only am I wanting this goal. I've just told my partner, I said, that's our next thing. So I've got 2 people believing that goal. Told my lawyer, told my mortgage broker.
Ah,
I'll
so
tell
it's
the
getting
agent.
making it public.
Yes, 5 people believe now that I am. And so a week ago, that wasn't even in my mind. Now it's a dream that 5 people believe in.
So you introduce, in fact, the topic of manifesting, because I know that you're very keen on that as well. Yeah. So what do you recommend to women wanting to create their dream as far as manifesting is concerned?
My philosophy on manifesting is just, you got to think of manifesting as make real. It's not magic. You're just making a dream real. And you can come at it from every angle. I come at it from practicality, like contacting my mortgage broker to say, how much money do I need? Then I know, then I've got a very clear goal to work towards. And then I like to do the woo-woo and the mindset stuff. So I was thinking, this is a great example. When I met with my lawyer, he goes, oh, one of my clients bought a building and he just changed the legal structure and sold them and made $1 million. And that triggered that old thing of it has to be hard to make money. And I just went, that would be cheating, making $1 million in profit from just changing the legal structure of a building. See how it's the same
interesting
block that stopped me from charging somebody $50 5 years ago is the same block now that could hold me back from $1 million. So I'm working on that. It's safe for me to make money easily. It's safe for me to make money in unexpected ways. So I'm working at it from the practicality side and the mindset side. And when you do both of those things together, who knows? Money could just fly out of the sky. Or I could get $1 million idea, or and sometimes you just need to know how much your dreams cost. So, an apartment building like that would cost, say, $1.5 million in my town. But it's not going to cost me $1.5 million. But I need to get that information from my broker, because he might just say, oh, you only need $200,000. So suddenly that $1 million dream, you've got a costing on it.
Yeah. I see. Interesting. So that leads us into money blocks. What do you see as the most common money blocks that women have?
And as I said before, everyone has their own flavor. Mm-hmm. So I think 1 or 2 will really resonate with people and they'll go, that's mine. So it could be, it has to be hard to make money. You have to work hard, and, so that if someone comes from a family where people work with their hands or make money from physical labor, you've got that money block. It has to be hard to make money. You have to work hard to make money. It could be that people say to themselves, I just want to help people. I just want to help people. I don't care about making money. I hear that a lot. And that's a belief that it's mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
You can only make money and then there's the obvious ones like money is dirty, rich people are greedy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not ethical to make money. Money would change me. Money would make me into a horrible person. I think it's interesting just to go explore like what you did with your sister and say, what do we remember about money?
You know what came out of that conversation originally a few weeks ago, whenever that was, and that was for me like, gosh, I never thought of it. When I was having a successful job, I was increasingly making money. So it was going like that.
Yeah.
And when I started having a business, it progressively went like that. And then my sister said that my father always said that to earn money, you had to have a job. A business is not a job. And so I just listened to him. You're right, Daddy.
Took it on.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really interesting. It is amazing. And that shifted everything because I could see where it came from. And I had no idea about it originally. Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the first exercise I get people to do in my money course. It's like, go look at every memory that you have around money, because there are patterns there, and there's something that somebody said or did that you have taken as gospel. Whether it's, actors don't make money, artists don't make money. It could be just something that as a little kid you're soaking it all in, and you just say, I believe that, and I will live my life as if that is an absolute. And you'd be surprised, usually it's when we're very young and then we've just believed it and we've believed it,
Yeah.
and we've, taken action to fulfill that belief. And it's interesting.
It's something that I always explain also to my clients. Until the age of 7, you can only absorb, in fact, because your brain is not, your conscious mind is not functioning properly yet. And so whatever you're being told, or whatever you interpreted of what you are being told, is the truth, and then, or becomes your truth. And quite often I see people having, reactions like, "But yeah, but why did they do that to me?" They didn't know better, because that's what they learned themselves as well. So you cannot bring to someone something that you don't know yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. So because again, I used to do these interviews for 1 hour. That was great, but it's too long, so I'm conscious of time. What tips would you give to women wanting to realize their dream?
Wow. Yeah. My philosophy is throw everything at it, because your dreams are so important. And when people say, should I do dream boards or should I do this? And I go, do everything. Like, do what resonates with you, or do what's easy for you, because the intention is more important than anything. I'm a big believer in the placebo effect.
Mm-hmm.
Just set the intention, do whatever if someone said to you, do this, rub your hand and pat your tummy, because it's going to, if you believe it will help you clear stuff, right? So do everything that you can from a metaphysical mindset point of view, and then take action. Every day, just take a little bit of action, and know that it doesn't have to be perfect. Know that you are enough. It's okay to take imperfect action. Just set the intention, just move forward a little bit. Because I think of where I am in my life and where some of my friends from where I grew up, we've both got this exact situation that's made up of compounding little actions and decisions that we've made over time. And for some of my friends, they have gone this way. They really have, because it's been compounding negative actions, compounding negative thought processes, and they think that I'm a lucky bitch.
Yeah, of course. That's all you can be.
Absolutely. They're like, well, you're so lucky. And I'm like, no, this is just compounding micro actions. And that's all we can do, because, yeah, I totally get it. It's scary to take big action sometimes, but it's also not necessary. Just do those little compounding actions. Just try and be a little bit more positive about money than you were yesterday. Just declutter one little belief or one memory that you have, and that's enough. That's all you need. Compounding positive action.
Action is really a key word, and those baby steps, as long as they are in the right direction, they will bring you there. I always say 1% plus 1% plus 1%. You don't have to go to 100%, but it's an improvement, and it takes you where you want to be. Yeah, interesting.
That's so true, and that's all it takes. We think sometimes we have to give 110%, especially for women.
Yeah.
We're like, 1% feels like we're slacking. It's like, that's a really great point. That's all you need. 1%, 1%, 1%, because it compounds over time, and it's incredibly powerful.
Super. I really love that. Denise, tell us, because you have this amazing boot camp that has generated an amazing community. Where can people find you? What can they do with you?
Sure. So I think I'd like to put people they could go to 2 resources. So I'm at luckybitch.com. If you go to luckybitch.com/chapter, you'll get the first 3 chapters of my book, Get Rich Lucky Bitch. I don't normally have it on my desk, but I have it on my desk today.
Super.
And then you can see if you resonate with my style. It's a funny book. It's an easy read. I've been told that people can, read it in a couple of days. People often take it on holidays and then they go, no, I'm like so excited about my money. I just want to go and work on my business. So go and grab that resource. But also I've just created a new course. It's all about manifesting. It takes you through the manifesting formula. I touched on some of those things today, but I've got 5 steps, very practical, and you can download like a cheat sheet, write your goal at the top and go through those steps so you can have a kind of the blend of the mindset and the practical. And that's at luckybitch.com/formula. Just easy. And then you can get that free course as well.
Thank you so much, Denise. Just for our listeners, our next guest will be somebody who was not in our usual environment, Denise, because, yeah, we come across the same people quite often, regularly, in all those different groups. Kim Addis. Kim is a person that I met quite a few years ago. I was at a worldwide ICF conference in Vegas, and she has developed a whole software. Yes, yeah, it's called a software, journal engine. And all the work that she does with her client, she is a great coach, is through the use of journaling, but online journaling. And she works with all the material that she gets through her clients from the journaling. But it's also, as I said, a software that she is selling, in fact. So 29th of June, we will have Kim Ads. I never know if it's Ads or Addis. I have to ask her. And every other week, we will have new people also, given I have changed the twice a month into a weekly program. Denise, I've really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being with us. I know that there are a lot of people eager to get your interview because it was already announced for last week or this Monday, in fact, that we just had. But we had a hard time finding a slot with the time difference.
Yes.
So I know that people will be very eager to listen to your interview. Thank you so much and talk to you soon.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.